about 13 minutes ago. It states 22 getting buckets. Caitlin Clark went 22 for 25 from beyond the arc after her workout today. So she actually did this after the workout. Let's
1, 2, 3, 4.
22 for 25 from beyond the arc, after a full workout. Let that sink in for a second. While the WNBA and the Players Union are locked in CBA negotiations that could potentially delay or cancel the 2025 season, Caitlin Clark just reminded everyone exactly what's at stake. The Indiana Fever dropped this footage 13 minutes after it happened, and the timing isn't accidental. This is a message.
This is so dope, man. And that's a team, that's USA basketball. So this means to tell me that Caitlin Clark is training for Team USA.
Notice the USA basketball gear. That's not just random practice attire. USA basketball training camp is scheduled to begin in mid-March, and Clark is making it crystal clear where her focus is. CBA stalemate or not, she's preparing to play basketball. The question is whether the WNBA will have its house in order by the time she's ready to come back.
Now, a lot of people was calling it the Caitlin Clark rule. Breanna Stewart and Kelsey Plum spoke out about the current negotiation status, man. One of the ESPN stated, league revenue share proposal remains mostly the same. Year one salary cap up to $5.75 million. Notable change in the league's most recent proposal through is the rookies been eligible to receive max contracts. A lot of people is going to be affected by this, not just Caitlin Clark, but you have Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese, Paige Beckers, and many other young rookie players that can now.
Here's what makes the timing of this workout footage so strategic. The CBA negotiations have hit a critical phase, with the March 8th deadline now less than a week away. The league's most recent proposal includes a provision that would allow rookies to be eligible for max contracts, something people are already calling the Caitlin Clark rule. But that's actually a misleading name, because this affects way more than just one player. Aaliyah Boston, Angel Reese, Paige Beckers when she enters the league. This is a fundamental restructuring of how the WNBA values young talent. The league's proposal shows a salary cap jumping to $5.75 million in year one, with revenue sharing on the table. These are the biggest numbers in WNBA history.
Look like Unrivaled President Alex Basil said the league has already made $100 million in revenue from the gate revenue alone. He said they are at capacity and will announce the total attendance numbers later tonight. I think that is cap, bro. Y'all done made $100 million in revenue at Unrivaled. That is cap. I just don't know how true that is, bro. I just got to be honest, man. The viewership numbers was definitely not there when Unrivaled. And yeah, man. Now, Caitlin Clark, speaking about the current state of the WNBA a few months ago, is resurfacing because her remarks is starting to pop back off again. And many people was insinuating that some people was stealing Caitlin Clark talking points. Let's listen.
Very high level.
This is Caitlin Clark's only public statement on the CBA negotiations, recorded a few months back. And it's worth breaking down what she's actually saying here, because it reveals how she's thinking about this entire situation. She calls this the biggest moment in WNBA history, which is a bold claim, but probably accurate. Then she pivots immediately to what matters most, playing basketball. Not the money, not the negotiations, but the product on the floor. That's a veteran move from someone who just finished her rookie season. She understands that all the leverage the players have right now comes from one source: people want to watch them play. The moment the product disappears, so does the negotiating power. She's threading a very careful needle here, supporting her union while also making it clear that she wants to be on the court.
Obviously I want to help in any way I can, and I tried to educate myself the best I can. Obviously I can't speak to every single number, it's pretty complicated, but I think there are different things that we can find ways to say, no, like we certainly deserve that and we're not going to compromise on that, and then other things that we can probably compromise on. But like I said, like this is the biggest moment in the history of the WNBA, and I don't want that to be forgotten. It's important that we find a way to play this next season, and I think our fans, even everybody that has played in this league that has come before.
Notice how she frames the compromise. She's not drawing hard lines or making ultimatums. She's talking about finding ways to agree, acknowledging that both sides will need to give ground. That's significant because the public narrative around these negotiations has been increasingly contentious. Players have been vocal on social media about feeling undervalued. League executives have been defensive about their financial constraints. Clark is positioning herself as someone who wants a deal done, not someone who's preparing for a work stoppage. And releasing this workout footage right now reinforces that message. She's saying, I'm ready to play. Get this done.
I'm curious just on the earliest talking to people, see about like the status of negotiations, different players.
Now, that was the last time we heard Caitlin Clark speak about the current state of the CBA negotiations. One thing I can say, don't look like she's bothered, man. Caitlin Clark is back in the lab, getting ready for USA basketball, man. So I believe that kicks off in a couple days, man. So we, with or without the CBA being signed, excuse me, we're going to get some Caitlin Clark basketball, bro. So we all should be happy with that we're going to get some Caitlin Clark basketball.
But there's another element to this that's getting overlooked in all the CBA coverage. The Unrivaled League just wrapped up its inaugural season, and their president, Alex Bozzolo, made a claim that raised eyebrows across the basketball world. He stated that Unrivaled generated $100 million in gate revenue alone, with sold-out crowds throughout the season. Now, the transcript here expresses skepticism about that number, and that skepticism is warranted. Let's do some basic math. Unrivaled played a compressed season with limited seating capacity. To hit $100 million in gate revenue, you'd need to be averaging astronomical ticket prices or massive venue capacities. The viewership numbers that were publicly available don't support that kind of revenue generation. Why does this matter for the WNBA negotiations? Because alternative leagues making inflated claims about their financial success creates a distorted picture of the market. If players believe they can make comparable money playing 3-on-3 basketball in a startup league, that changes their calculus about what they're willing to accept from the WNBA.
This is so dope, man. And that's a team, I mean, that's USA basketball. So this means to tell me that Caitlin Clark is training for Team USA.
Let's talk about what we're actually seeing in this workout footage, because the details matter. Clark isn't just casually shooting around. This is a structured shooting drill, with specific spots on the floor. Consistent footwork, game speed release, 22 for 25, is an 88% success rate from three-point range after she'd already completed a full workout. Her legs should be tired. Her shot should be falling short. Instead, she's draining them with the same smooth mechanics she showed all season. This is what elite conditioning looks like. This is what separates good shooters from generational ones. Steph Curry does similar drills. Damian Lillard does similar drills. The best shooters in basketball history have all put in this kind of repetitive, meticulous work. And the Fever are smart to showcase it right now. This footage does multiple things simultaneously. It keeps Clark in the public conversation during a news vacuum. It reminds fans what they're missing. It shows sponsors and media partners that their biggest star is maintaining her value. And it puts subtle pressure on the negotiating parties to get a deal done.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever has just released some new workout footage from the practice facility, and I'm telling you right now, it is fire. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it, let's go. And we jumping right into this thing, man. So if you guys don't know, we're still under the CBA negotiations, but that is not stopping Caitlin Clark for prepping and getting ready for the 2026 season.
Here's what the next 6 days look like. March 8th is the deadline that's been circled on everyone's calendar. If the WNBA and the Players Union can't reach an agreement by then, we're looking at potential delays to the start of the season, possible cancellations of games, and in a worst-case scenario, a work stoppage that could wipe out the entire 2025 season. The stakes are enormous. The WNBA just came off its most successful season in league history. Television ratings were up across the board, with multiple games exceeding 3 million viewers. Attendance records were shattered, merchandise sales exploded, corporate sponsorships flooded in. This is the moment when the league should be capitalizing on unprecedented momentum. Instead, they're facing the very real possibility of shutting it all down over money. And here's the painful irony. Both sides are right. The players deserve significantly more compensation than they're currently receiving. The revenue growth has been undeniable, and the athletes generating that revenue should share in it. At the same time, the league's financial structure is genuinely complicated. The WNBA has historically operated at a loss, subsidized by the NBA. The recent growth is encouraging, but it's not yet clear if it's sustainable long-term. This is why Caitlin Clark's approach in that interview clip is so smart. She's not pretending the issues are simple. She's acknowledging the complexity while keeping the focus on what actually matters, getting back on the court. The rookie max contract provision is a perfect example of creative problem-solving. Instead of fighting over whether rookies should make veteran money, they're creating a pathway for exceptional rookies to earn max contracts based on performance. That protects the salary structure while rewarding transcendent talent. It's the kind of compromise that could unlock other areas of negotiation, but time is running out. 6 days isn't a lot of runway to finalize a collective bargaining agreement that will govern the league for the next several years. These deals are complex documents covering everything from salary caps to free agency rules to benefits to travel accommodations to marketing rights. Every single provision has to be negotiated, drafted, reviewed by lawyers, and approved by both sides. The fact that we're this close to the deadline without a deal suggests that significant gaps remain. The revenue-sharing model is reportedly one of the major sticking points. The players want a larger percentage of league revenue. The league is concerned about committing to revenue shares before they fully understand the financial sustainability of the recent growth. Travel accommodations are another contentious issue. WNBA players have been vocal about flying commercial, while NBA players fly charter. The league has made some improvements, but players want comprehensive charter flight access. That's expensive, and the league is trying to figure out how to afford it without blowing up their budget. Here's what makes this moment so critical. The WNBA has never had more leverage in the broader sports landscape. Networks are competing for broadcast rights. Major brands want to associate with women's basketball. Attendance is surging. This is when you strike deals, when your value is at its peak. If they let this momentum slip away because they couldn't finalize a CBA, it would be a catastrophic missed opportunity. And that's why Caitlin Clark shooting 22 for 25 in an empty gym matters more than it might seem. It's a reminder of what's at stake. It's a visual representation of the excellence that's driving all this growth. It's proof that the product is ready, even if the business side isn't. The next 6 days will determine whether the WNBA capitalizes on the best moment in its history or squanders it in a labor dispute. Both sides need to find a way to yes. The alternative is too costly to contemplate. Because somewhere right now, Caitlin Clark is in a gym preparing to play basketball. The only question is whether the league will be ready when she is. So what happens if they don't reach a deal by March 8th? Do you think the players would actually be willing to sit out the season? Or is this just negotiating leverage? And more importantly, if you're a WNBA fan, whose side are you on here? The players fighting for fair compensation, or the league trying to maintain financial stability? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and let's hope we're watching basketball in May instead of talking about what could have been.